Okay, I have the amazing Vicky Fitness. Come on up here. How are you, doll? How you feeling?
Really nervous.
I got to tell everybody a story about. You were in platinum already for a year, I think, yep. And you went to Tamara, and you said something like, "I really want to talk to Dipna, but I'm too scared."
Yep.
She said, "You can get over that." So she drags you up to me to have a little chat.
Yep. And I just stood there and went, "Hello."
And now you're on stage looking at all these people.
That's helpful.
Look at all those people.
I don't think that's helping.
It's not helping. Okay.
Oh, hi. How about I do that? There you go.
I might need holding up.
Okay. Feeling good for no particular reason. That's you?
That is the thing that helps me raise my energy, raise
Yep.
my vibration, get over the things that are worrying me. And it's actually one of Brad's from Wealth Matrix, and it helped so significantly for me and for everyone around me when things were tough.
Yep. Okay.
So you
let's
do a little dance with it. You go, "Feeling good for no particular reason." It works, try it.
So tell me, how did you end up with I Love Real Estate?
I got an email years and years ago and was really interested, and I could get the book. And I got the book because I didn't believe that I was really worthy enough to do anything, so I was discreetly learning, if that makes sense.
Had to do it in private.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I kept getting things every now and then. And one time I was actually sitting at the dining table doing a Masters of Theology assignment, because we needed to do that where I worked to go forward. So it's 5:30 in the morning and it's just really hard work. And I thought, I'll check my emails, and there was one from you. I'm sitting there having a coffee and I went, I've got to do it. I've just got to do it. So I took Tim into coming to the one-dayer, and we signed up for Quantum. And then at the 3-dayer, I won a book, and I stood up here about 3 times before I had the guts to actually get close enough to you to ask you if you could sign the book. And I burst into tears, and you looked at me and said, "Just make it happen." And I ran away going, "I've got a book." So, yeah, that's how I met you.
So that's how we came to be together.
Yeah.
So your pre-position was 2007. You'd had an investment property, but you didn't kind of work out very well. Sold.
Yeah, it was just too hard. It was negative geared. I had the 4 kids.
Yeah.
And it was just, we held it for...
Hurts.
It does. Yeah, and it came down to the mortgage payment or a pair of shoes that my kid needed. So I went, that's it, the property's got to go.
Yeah.
We just can't do it. It was a good little property. It sold, I think, recently for about...
Don't even think
yeah.
of it.
No, they did a lot more work than we did.
That's right. So you still no PPR after 10 years?
No equity in it.
No equity, sorry, in the PPR after 10 years.
We just kept, every time we got a bit of equity, we'd get an equity loan and get a pool, get a shed, get a boat, all those things that are success factors that show you, to all show the world that you're a successful family.
And kids going to private school but behind in school fees, that mustn't feel real good either.
No, especially when I was actually the person who collected the fees at the school. So I had to, every month I had to get it signed off by the principal. So it was really, actually really confronting.
Yeah.
To sit there and just say, yep. But we made it through. And the kids, the education, and that was worth it. So it was good.
So, debts with groceries and those sort of things. Then you got a bit of a health scare.
Yep. So then I was actually trying to give up smoking, and I went to the doctor and I just said, "Oh, can you check that thing?" And he said, "Oh, it'd be fine, but we'll do the right thing. We'll send you for the scan and everything." And I went for the scan and the ultrasound, and the lady said, "Just stay there. I'll ring the doctor. We'll do a biopsy." And I went, "Oh, that doesn't sound good." And then as we were walking to pay, she went, "Best of luck." And I went, "Oh, that doesn't sound good." So they rang me the next day, and it was stage 2, possibly stage 3 cancer, which sort of didn't sound good. And it was a really interesting thing. When I went to have the surgery, I had so many people send me cards and well wishes. It was the most amazing feeling. And it was almost like the whole journey was almost like me looking after some poor other lady that was going through that. So that was really amazing, but it also shook my confidence to the core, and it makes you readjust and reassess every single thing in your life.
That's what happened to my sister.
Yeah, and it changes your personality. It does. And all of a sudden it's like, well, I was this one person for 40 years, and now who is this other person living in here?
Yeah.
So that's a bit scary.
I noticed that with my sister, and the confidence just left. And I think it's only taken me about 10 years to get her back to who she was before.
Yeah, good for her.
Yeah, good for her, that's right. So you were living in the big house.
Yeah. So when we sort of recovered and it was like time to, let's have another go at investing, the big house was not far, 2 kilometres from where we lived, and it was this mansion on the hill. Tim absolutely loved it. And I thought, there's no chance we can afford that. I went to the bank and they said yes, and I went, oh crap, you weren't supposed to say yes. So it was a mortgagee repossession. There was a lot of rumours around that there was concrete in the pipes and all this sort of stuff. But I think it was meant to come to us. And so it was really good in the end, but I didn't sleep for the first 3 months because it was haunted. Or cursed or something, because even the dog would go weird.
Really?
Yep. So because I worked at a Catholic school, I asked the priest to come and bless the house.
Did that work?
It did. It had to be a chocolate mud cake. And we stood there, and it was an amazing experience, and it really did make a difference.
Okay. But obviously big debt.
Big debt.
So more hardship.
Yes, and big house, so big expenses. Everything was expensive to fix. When we actually did get it painted, we did it as a cashie to cut the cost down. It was $25,000 in cashie. It was just, and because there was damage, it was just kept more and more. But the space itself was awesome, and having friends and everyone come around, it was a lovely place to live. Just expensive to hold on to.
Yeah. And not an investment, that's for sure.
No.
So your I Love Real Estate position is you had the farm,
The
big house.
The big house.
Car, boat, total there, great. But look at the debts.
Yeah. And see, we just did an equity loan, so we never paid off the car, we never paid off the boat, we just kept the loan.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
And negative cash flow, $31,000 almost.
Yeah.
So that hurts. I mean,
it does.
you're both working.
Yes.
And, the negative cash flow and paying the mortgage and everything else is not helping.
No, we didn't have very well-paying jobs either. It was
No.
just living hand to mouth.
Because you live in a reasonably regional area.
Yeah.
So, salaries are not big.
Nope.
Okay, so what happened after that?
So that's the big house. And because...
Great carpet.
Yeah. I like the carpet.
Oh, sorry.
It's Axminster. I know, everyone walked in and went, oh, you've got to get rid of the carpet. But with 4 kids, dogs, everything, it was actually a really good carpet to live with. So
You mean it didn't show stains? Is that what you're saying?
You could get away with it. Yeah, it was awesome. But it had to go. And so those pictures show the bar. He'd taken the bar top. Everything cost a lot of money. And so we would have loved to have kept it. Tim particularly was so proud of the house. He'd spend 5 hours mowing every week just, to make it look good. And so we looked at, well, what can we do to get income out of this property to enable us to keep it? So we looked at the overseas workers and the farm stay cabins and everything. We even looked at a brothel after coming to one of your things, and someone said, "Oh yeah, they
You're
did a
going to turn it
brothel."
into a brothel.
And I actually went and saw the local guy that I went to school with, and him and his dad owned the brothel.
And you
I
work
said,
at the Catholic school.
I know, yeah. But yeah, we still get Facebook requests from some of the madams that, because he said, "Oh, you know what would happen if you went and brothel up there?" And it was a very unwise thing. Did not fit with me at all. But I was willing to have a look.
You've got to do your due diligence. That's what we did.
We did.
Okay, so eventually the time came, you better sell it.
Yep. Yes, so we sold it and did most of the cosmetic renos, but basically the cosmetic renos were still, $80,000 at cashies and friends helping and all of that. But so we sold it for. The bank said it was only worth $850,000.
They always devalue things.
We knew it was worth $1 million, but then the negotiation to get it past that $1 million was a really
Sealer.
yeah. So we got there in the end, and that was like really amazing. So
Very good.
and by that stage, we had mum and dad had moved in, the 4 kids, 2 of the girlfriends had moved in, so there was 10 adults living there, and they had all decided to sort of move out. So we had this huge big house, and it was the right time to sell, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So the big house is gone, the dream house is gone, but so too has the dream mortgage.
Huh?
The dream mortgage went with the dream house.
Yes.
You didn't have the big dream mortgage anymore.
No, but we'd
Still got the boat loan and the other bits and pieces.
but we'd also, we're looking for the next deal, so we'd bought another house, so we had actually just swapped the debt for a different house.
So is this it,
pretty
the
well.
beach house?
The beach house. Isn't that pretty? It's so ugly. And then we thought we'd be clever and try and make that ugly thing out the front a bit better, so we painted it bright green, which made it look really, and yeah, it was awful. But yeah, we're doing the renovation on that. And because it's a PPR, for me and Tim, we sort of got a little confused, because you got too emotionally invested in it, and we couldn't make our mind up what we were doing. We'd go this, that, whatever, and then started to really not trust ourselves and forgot about all the things we had learnt and started making emotional decisions and relying on other people's opinions too much because we didn't trust ourselves, and then we found that we sort of stuffed up the renovation financially a little bit.
So you spent too much on the reno?
We did. We did, yeah. Yeah, and we actually got lazy after we sold the big house and started enjoying life a little bit too much as well. So some of the money that was supposed to be spent there went elsewhere. And so we ended up having to go back to the bank with a half-built house. They don't like that.
No, they don't.
No.
No.
So then everything stopped, and it was 2 months of negotiating with the bank, and there was 4 conditional approvals, which is do this and we'll give you the money. We did that, then went, oh no, we still don't want to give you the money. And essentially, I think that with that bank, it boiled down to the fact that they do all the spending assessment, and because I never have cash, I do everything with the FPOS and whatever else, and they
said you're spending too much.
Yeah, and I went, you're probably right, but it's really confronting to the bank telling you that. So we had to reassess.
So you ended up with a granny flat on this one as well?
Yes. Yep.
And it brings in a little bit of cash, which is good.
Yep.
18 grand.
Yep.
So you're in the process of probably selling this one. Is that the story? Or you're not sure?
We're still swapping and changing.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. So in the meantime, a duplex block.
Yes.
Okay, tell me about this one.
We'd put a deposit on that the 30th of June 2017. We were offered it sort of before it went on the market at a good price. It was supposed to settle in September.
Yep.
So this is all sort of happening at the same time. It was going to be built, sold by March. But because we'd also lost track of what we were doing, we were having a bit of like fun because, and lost and didn't stay focused and whatever. It just had problems and it didn't settle until July this year. So it then put extra pressure onto the other project and we found ourselves like, oh, look what we've done by just losing focus and not having a clear strategy of where we wanted to be, like where the outcomes were, where you wanted to go.
Yep. So staying on track. So you've got a few things here, and I know we're coming early to this one, but more important things than money. Tell us about this first.
Yeah, this is, so the success story financially up there is not anything like the amazing stories that I've seen today. And the real reason I put an entry in was just because I wanted other people to just trust themselves and really follow the learnings and work on your mindset, all of those sort of things, because throughout having to realise what we'd done wrong and whatever, but throughout that all that time, the mindset growth and those sort of things have been invaluable and have sort of like the ripple effect to family and friends and work colleagues, and they've sort of benefited a lot, even more than us at the moment. And we realised that it was breaking through the barriers of what we'd been brought up with.
Yeah.
And one of the main things was with the big house, I actually felt embarrassed of having a big house. It was like I didn't feel worthy enough
Self-worth.
It was the craziest thing. And you have to go through all this sort of stuff sometimes to just even realise what's going on in your head. But so
working through all of that, and that obviously has benefited your relationship as well.
Yes, yeah, a lot actually, because I don't know, with 4 kids you just get busy and you're always and then all of a sudden there's just the 2 of you at home again, and you have to learn to communicate. And joining the I Love Real Estate was great for me, and I was growing, and Tim was still like, I don't know, is it fair income or whatever? And so at one point there has to be get right back down to tin tacks, because otherwise you can grow completely separately away and be on 2 different pages. And a marriage of 30 years nearly is definitely better now. And thank you for all the things you've taught me that are really helping us, I'd say. So thank you.
So here are some of the other things that what are we doing here in all the red?
Liverpool. That's a
Liverpool.
Mad soccer family.
So what are some of the learnings?
Take action on your strategies and stay focused. Mindset really is such an important thing, and that's where the feeling good for no particular reason actually really, really helps. So improve your communication and negotiation skills. We're not very good at that, or we feel like not very good at it. So just get out there and have a go and break through fear barriers. And if the joint ventures, everyone's been talking a lot about joint ventures, and I wasn't confident enough in myself to do that, and I realised that's actually exactly where I will thrive, because it won't be my personal PPR, and it's where the business is and where I can actually act better, and that's what I do for a living sometimes. So it'll fit better than me trying to do with my PPR.
I mean, what I've seen in you is a massive, massive personal growth.
I know. I used to hide.
Yes. And just being able to, to express yourself, be up here, all of these things. As I said, I've seen massive, massive growth in you.
Thank you.
And a lot more self-worth and all of those other things, which hold a lot of people back. And that's really why I wanted Vicky to share her story, because it is such a massive personal growth story.
It is. It really is. Just the amazing influences that can happen in your life. Please, everybody, do yourself a favour and work on yourselves as well.
Yep. So these are the final figures, where you've gone from $191,000 in equity and a negative cash flow of over $30,000, which is hurting. And you brought that up, you know, we're $667,000 now in equity and a cash flow of positive $33,000.
Yep.
So it's a turnaround
When
of
the duplex is finished. Yep.
Yeah. Turnaround of $66,000 can't be sneezed at.
No.
So even though you think, you know, that's not a big story, it is a big story. It is a big story for you. You started with $191,000.
Yeah.
And, you know, yes, you admit to a few things that perhaps went sideways along the way, but it's about learning from them and moving forward bigger, better, stronger.
It is, and I don't think we could have... I think we would have... You say you can't have the growth in one area without the other.
No.
Because you do always fall back down to that belief of where
Correct.
you are in your head, and you have to have that growth. So I think we had to have that, and that was probably what I wanted to say to people is don't, you know, stay in there and follow the learnings and
So
grow.
your advice, don't let fear stop you.
Don't let fear stop you. So I'm here, that's good. Get involved in the community. That's been amazing for me. There's so many people out there that are so lovely. It's really fantastic. Do the modules and set up a routine. The habit thing that you're talking about today is such a big thing. I'm not very good at habits, except bad ones.
Well, I remember doing a full-on hour and a half just on habits and rituals at Platinum, which was about exactly that, having that structure and putting those things into place.
Yep, and whatever you can do to do that, do it. Be clear on your goals and intentions and revisit it often, because otherwise you can get distracted and have the lovely life and forget to go, oh, that's right, that was our goal.
That's
and we're just whittling it away. The time and the money was whittling away because we weren't staying focused. Be prepared for timing delays. And communicate. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't take shortcuts. They don't work. And act if you have red flags. So be confident enough to communicate. If you have a red flag feeling about something, ask the questions. Maybe that, you know, stop, slow it down, ask the questions, all that sort of stuff. Don't think, oh, it'll be right. Actually act, And
Listen to your gut.
Yeah, absolutely. And trust yourself and what you've learnt here.
Very good.
Thanks, Dee.
Well, thank you, Vicky, for sharing your story. Wasn't that scary, was it?
Yeah,
Thanks, guys.